What's up, guys? So today we're going to discuss just how strong Menma Uzumaki is and a few plot holes from the Road to Ninja movie. So for those of you who don't know, Menma Uzumaki is Naruto from the alternate timeline / Infinite Tsukiyomi, which is the basis for the Road to Naruto movie. And in this timeline, Menma grew up with both parents and became the Jinchuriki of the Black Nine-Tails. And let me just say, aesthetically, this is the Naruto we deserved. I mean, the aura this man exudes, from the drip to the Minato style haircut, is everything Naruto wishes he could be. But on top of that, this version of Naruto mastered Dark Kurama's power at an even earlier stage than regular Naruto. However, without Naruto's kindness and will, instead of befriending the Nine-Tails like Naruto did originally, they bond over their hatred, making him kind of the perfect vessel for the Nine-Tails, who at that time was full of rage and hatred. Also, due to not having an 8 trigram seal, Menma has full access to the entire power of the Nine-Tails, and then I do say full because they didn't do a Reaper Death Seal, so he has both halves of Kurama within him. And with this power, he was able to defeat the Two-Tailed Jinchuriki, Yugato, and even kill Jiraiya. Now, while being able to defeat the Two-Tails is no small feat, defeating Jiraiya, a Kage level fighter, and the guy who was keeping Naruto's power in check during their training arc between Naruto and Shippuden is a really big feat, so it should come as no shock when I say that Menma is a lot stronger than regular Naruto. He can outmatch him in taijutsu and speed. He's able to take on Naruto in Sage Mode, and even take on Naruto in Sage Mode with other Shadow clones also in Sage Mode, pretty much at the same time. As well as being able to create his version of the Rasen Shuriken, the spiraling ring. And then he can also do this without Shadow clones to help him, and he can make an even bigger version of this, the Great Spiraling Ring, and it has the power to basically obliterate the entire village, and it's on the same level of Pain's almighty push. Now, that's already pretty busted. But when it comes to powers that Naruto doesn't have, Menma can summon his own personal squad of up to 5 Divine Beasts and 4 Divine Priests, who can do everything from binding opponents, siphoning chakra, and create near indestructible barriers. And then even if they are defeated, you get a phase 2 boss from Black Kurama, because they all fly back into Menma, and he gets on some Black Air Force time and summons the full-size Black Nine-Tails. Now, what's really weird about this movie is that even though all that stuff I just stated to you, he still loses to Naruto, who only has half of the Nine-Tails in Sage Mode at this point. Which makes no sense, because Sage Mode was needed to defeat the paths of pain and defeat pain, and he acquired this power to be that level of strong. And we can already see that Menma is stronger than Pain, at least Pain by himself, or Pain's almighty pushes power. He has equivalent power to that. So, but he's stronger, especially with the Nine-Tails at his full control, compared to Naruto, who only had half that during their fight. And yet he still loses to Naruto. Now, Menma does get access temporarily to the Mangekyo Sharingan, although this is Obito taking over his body. But even then, Naruto defeats that version of Menma in the same way that Minato defeated Obito in the real world, which makes no sense. And on the topic of things that make no sense, let's get into the plot holes. So for starters, Lady Tsunade is Hokage somehow, but Minato is still alive, and we are told that Sakura's father, who's normally just a background character, was the 4th Hokage, and somehow this guy won over Fugaku and Minato, which honestly makes no sense, but he died protecting his wife, or he died along with his wife protecting the village. Okay, that part I can get for the sake of the movie. Sure, he was the 4th Hokage. Doesn't make a lot of sense though, because you're telling me at a time when the 3rd Hokage should have been there, still old as shit, because he was old when he was about to pass on the mantle to the 4th Hokage. But he was there, the Yellow Flash of the Leaf is there, and Fugaku is there. And the reason why I say Fugaku has to be there is because without the Nine-Tails attack, because Naruto got his power fully and everything, there was no Reaper Death Seal and everything, then that means that there should be, hypothetically anyway, no Uchiha cleanse. If there's no Uchiha cleanse, then Itachi doesn't leave the village, he doesn't become an outlaw, none of the other stuff that happens normally happens. So you got Itachi, you got Shisui, you got Fugaku, you got the rest of the Uchiha clan, you got Minato, and you got the 3rd Hokage, and somehow Sakura's father loses and dies protecting the village. Either he was just not that strong of a guy that he thought he was, and they just kind of went out like that, or something, because that makes no sense at all. But also considering that Sasuke is more of a nonchalant ladies man in this movie, and the Akatsuki are basically good guys, it would also kind of back the idea that the Uchiha are still alive, since there was no need for the Uchiha clans without the Nine-Tails attack. But with that, if the Uchiha are still alive, if all those people are still alive, where are they at during this attack on the village? Because like Menma pulls up like twice, and they are nowhere to be seen aside from Itachi when he pulls up with the Akatsuki, and Sasuke is on the scene in like the city. I don't even think he shows up to the final fight, if I remember correctly, because I had to rewatch and everything. But even then, Sasuke is not even that much of a threat in this timeline because he doesn't have his Mangekyo, or at least I assume he doesn't have his Mangekyo because he doesn't have a reason to get it through all the pain he went through, because he doesn't go through any pain, at least based off of this movie. The other thing that's really stupid to me is that Naruto somehow uses flying Raijin technique, a technique that he does not know to defeat Menma / Obito, and he does it with a regular kunai. I could understand if he had one of the marked kunai from the 4th Hokage, and maybe the 4th Hokage was there and he was helping him with it, but nope. He just puts on the Hokage's cloak, has a regular kunai, throws it through Menma, teleports to it, and defeats him, because that makes perfect sense. Especially at a time when he doesn't have KCM and isn't zipping around battlefields like that. But yeah, that that makes no sense. He just flies over there with a regular kunai and then smashes him with a Rasengan and wins. Like, I get Naruto as the main character, and so you don't want to see him lose, but if you're gonna see him beat somebody, at least want it to look a little bit more believable. Now granted, you do have the Akatsuki jumping in during the fight, and they are kind of helping out and everything. That makes sense, I get that, but there's just like a lot of inconsistencies and a lot of plot holes without any explanation in this entire movie. But you're like, Phoenix, it's a movie. It can be a little crazy. It's not canon anyway. It doesn't have to be completely 100% on board. Nope, because Kishimoto wrote, directed, made the new characters, was head of the writer's board, wrote the story for it, and it's considered a canon movie. So if that's the case, why is this so wild, Kishimoto? Please. All that aside, though, this is still one of my favorite Naruto movies. And mainly because it introduces a dark version of Naruto. And there are a lot of anime these days, especially like in Dragon Ball Super, who introduce dark versions of characters, and it's always interesting to see what a character would look like who's all wholesome and good if they were to go bad and turn evil. And with the Naruto series, it's very easy to wonder what life would have been like if Naruto had took all that pain and hate and all that time on the swing set and just was like, yeah, I'm finna wipe out the entire world. And he would have been justified, honestly, in doing so, because they treated him like garbage, or how he put it, hated him for just being alive. And then you got 3rd Hokage putting his man up in the ghetto with like $1,300 a month, and he eating spoiled milk and ramen all day every day. I'd probably crash out too. It makes sense. But what I do like is that this movie can introduce a lot of interesting hypotheticals. And if you guys want me to make a video on some of these, I definitely will, if you're interested in seeing something like that. But how strong would Menma be in the 4th Great Ninja War? Assuming like we put him out of his timeline into the main timeline, how strong would he be at the same point Naruto was with full Kurama power? Now, we can already assume he doesn't need Sage Mode, or at least that he wouldn't have obtained Toad Sage Mode because he kills Jiraiya, at least in his timeline. So unless he builds a bond with that version of timeline's Jiraiya, then yeah, I could see him maybe becoming a Toad Sage. But if he's like the same amount of edginess, given that it's Dark Naruto, Dark Kurama, he may have become a Snake Sage or a different type of Sage. I mean, there's tons of different animals that he could potentially reverse summon to and learn how to be a Sage for from their little worlds. Another thing I've always wanted to know, given that he's Dark Kurama and Dark Naruto, what would a Dark KCM be like? And how strong would a Dark KCM be, Like, if he can do a spiraling ring that can destroy Konoha and just like his base power, like a Dark KCM, he should be wiping out multi villages at that point. A lot stronger than what Naruto was at that point in time. And it also begs the question as, would he need Sage's 6 Paths power to defeat Madara and to defeat Obito if he is that strong? And if he does get Sage's 6 power, or Sage's 6 Paths power, what could he do with it? Like, there's a lot of unanswered questions and a lot of cool hypotheticals that we can make into some videos if you guys want. But that's the things that I genuinely think about. But this is the end of the video. Tell me what you guys thought about it in the comments. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if so, leave a like. And if you want to stay around for more content, please subscribe. I'm trying to post videos as often as I can. I do get busy. I have 2 jobs. It just is what it is. But I like to bring content to you guys as much as I can, and I've been trying to post shorts to kind of bridge the gap in between those. But with all that being said, have a nice day. Eternal Phoenix signing out.